More breaking news to bring you tonight. A sixth Texas House Democrat is now tested positive for COVID-19 in Washington, D.C. More than 50 of them have been in our nation's capital for a full week now to try and stop the state house from reaching a quorum and passing that voting legislation. Now, one of them who's tested negative says it was a mistake for them not to wear masks while traveling.
For us to be on a plane and not follow the rules and not be masked up indoors, even though we're 100% vaccinated, was wrong. And we admit to it. And this is a time to learn a very easy lesson from us is when you're indoors, even if you're vaccinated, be masked, because it doesn't mean that you can't get the virus and it doesn't mean you can't spread the virus. It just means that you won't get really sick.
Now, the Texas politicians who haven't tested positive for COVID say they're getting tested daily and they're still able to do business while they're in D.C. KVUE's Darenisha Herron spoke with a few representatives today about their ongoing fight against voting legislation in Texas.
Texas State House Democrats on day 7 in D.C. doing interviews, social media Q&As, anything to get the word out about why they fled to Washington to halt progress on what they call a voter suppression bill. So, have they done anything to convince Congress to pass federal voting bills? Texas Representatives Jean Wu and Julie Johnson says yes.
I think the reports from the members who met with not only Senator Joe Manchin, but all of the senators and Congress people that we've talked to have all come back extremely positive.
It's like the more education, and it goes up and down. And so all these senators, they know that there's bad voting rights legislation, right? But when they hear the specifics and they hear how it's going to be implemented, they're just horrified.
Johnson says no word yet on if Congress plans to change filibuster rules to pass the For the People Act or the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. But Wu made it clear he's done compromising with Republicans in Austin.
For me, it would have to be the governor saying that he is taking the bill off the call completely. Because right now, we've been fed too many lies.
We had a 24-hour hearing. Hundreds and hundreds of people came to Austin to testify. Democrats offered numerous amendments, and they rejected every single one. Trust is completely broken down.
Democrats have vowed to stay in D.C., so this special session could end in a stalemate. But Governor Greg Abbott said he'll keep calling sessions as necessary. In Austin, I'm Darenisha Herron.